Welcome to Project U 2.2, the podcast where life and leadership meet endurance. I'm Greg Helmer, joined by my wife and partner in life and work, Carrie. Each week, we dive deep into the mindset, the neuroscience, and the real grit it takes to stop drifting and start living with clarity, confidence, and endurance. This is about real life, real struggles, and real growth. So lace up, it's time to live with endurance. Carrie's last episode, Work Hard, Figure It Out, and Shine, hit me right in the heart. If you haven't listened yet, go back after this one. Carrie talked about growing up with parents who didn't just say work hard, they lived it. They fixed, they built, they repaired, and they created when resources were scarce. That episode reminded me that figure it out people, they change the world. They are the ones who stay calm when things break, who see problems not as walls, but as puzzles. And in leadership, those are the people who we trust the most. Years ago, when I was a new superintendent, one of our buses had a broken two-way radio. We could have called in a tech and waited a few days. But our transportation director said, "Hey, Greg, give me an hour." He took it apart, soldered some of the wiring, and he got it working. No drama, no invoice, just quiet persistence. Later, when I asked him how he knew what to do, he chuckled. He said, "I didn't. I just figured it out." That phrase, "I just figured it out," has become one of my favorites. Because in life, that mindset builds trust faster than any title ever will. And in life, that mindset gets things done. Carrie's episode got me thinking about her dad, my father-in-law. He's now well into his 70s, but you'd never know it when something breaks. He still dives right in, tools out, sleeves rolled up, fixing, repairing, figuring things out. Meanwhile, his son-in-law, that's me, is standing there, usually holding a flashlight the wrong way, embarrassed by my lack of mechanical sense and patience. I'll admit it, that kind of problem solving doesn't come naturally to me. But every time I watch him quietly diagnose, measure, adjust, and make it work, I'm reminded that patience and persistence are their own kind of genius. He doesn't get flustered. He doesn't guess. He just studies the problem until it makes sense. And somehow by the end, it's fixed. That's figure it out living. It's not loud. It's not flashy. But instead, it's powerful. There's something magnetic about people who don't panic under pressure. They stay grounded, they stay curious, they find a way. When people see you calmly solving problems, they begin to believe they can too. You model confidence without words. You show that progress isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. That's leadership. That's endurance in motion. Number one, stay steady when things break. Your calm is your credibility. When everyone else reacts, breathe and then begin. That's figured out leadership in action. A second thing you can do, ask before you outsource. Before handing off a problem, ask, is this something that I can learn? Is this something I can do? Curiosity builds capability. And number three, lead by example. Your team learns more from how you respond than from what you say. And number four, celebrate the grit, not the glamour. In a world obsessed with quick fixes, reward persistence and follow through. And finally, number five, remember the ripple effect. Every time you figure something out, you give others permission to believe that they can too. And here's the science behind it. Here's the neuroscience. When you solve problems through persistence, your brain releases dopamine, the satisfaction chemical that builds confidence and resilience. Each "I figured it out" moment rewires your brain to stay composed under stress. That's why gritty people become steady leaders. They are literally training their brains to endure. And not long ago, a young leader I mentor called me after a very tough week. And they said, "I'm stuck. I don't know what to do." And I told them, "Good. That means you're about to grow." And so we walked through the problem together. And by the end, they had solved it and they had owned it. They didn't need a manual, they needed a mindset. And that's the difference between leaders who wait for direction and those who create it. And here's the challenge for the week, the Project U 2.2 challenge. Pick one thing that you've been avoiding, whether it's a necessary but difficult conversation that needs to be planned. Maybe it's a project you've been putting on hold, or maybe it's a decision that you're struggling to make. Let's not overthink it. Don't wait for perfect timing. Just start. Work hard. Figure it out. The act of persistence will do more for your confidence than any motivational quote ever could. And Carrie's parents and her dad today, they didn't have those fancy tools or YouTube tutorials. They had determination, patience, and grit. And I'll tell you, their figure it out mindset has rubbed off on me in the best way. So wherever you lead, in your home, your business, or your community, bring that same quiet persistence. People don't follow titles, they follow trust. And trust is built when you keep showing up, working hard, and figuring it out. This has been Project U 2.2, where we don't quit, we don't coast, and we don't surrender. If today's message inspired you, share it with someone who could use a reminder to stay steady and persistent. And don't forget, every Wednesday at 6:22 a.m., Carrie brings her powerful perspective for women, faith, and growth. Until next time, stay strong, stay real, and keep living with endurance. See you at 6:22.